Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be on site with me as we're installing wrought iron fencing. These panels are pre-made in our fab shop. We first hold it up, you see, with that angle that we cut out, and we clamp a C-clamp on both sides to make sure that that second rail is level with the other one. Of course, we check the levels with the level. I tack with 6011 rod, and then I weld it up. Right now, Dad's having to trim it because we have to keep it the same distance off the concrete wall. So we're also having to play around with that too. It's not just all about being level. It has to be the same distance off the wall. So if the wall slopes, we have to make an adjustment. I'm going to be welding 3 sides, top and front and back. So it's a 3-side weld. Again with 6011 rod. This is very thin wall tubing, so I'm doing vertical downhill welds on low amperage. Here's some up close shot of me welding. You can see how still I am. Whenever you're welding, the more robotic, the better. You got to think yourself as a robot. Very still. Every muscle is under control. It's only moving when I want it to. You have to be very in tune and in control of your body, your movements. And you see how there's a base plate on these posts. And we are fastening them into the concrete with Titan bolts. So we drill it out with the concrete drill. That Milwaukee is a great tool. And then we suck it down with some Titan bolts. And you can see how these great pants I get, no matter if they're Wrangler rigs or Carhartt's canvas pants, double front, they're gonna have that little pocket for my rods, which make it really handy in the field. And as you can see, as a welder, if you're a stick welder, it's important to know how to weld with one hand, because sometimes you'll be in positions like this where your other hand has to hold you up or brace you. Thus, you're gonna be able to weld with one hand because you're used to it and you're trained for it. So throughout my stick weld training, I've made sure that I can weld with one hand just as well as 2 hands, even in difficult positions. As a welder in the field or in the shop, you're gonna find yourself in very unconventional welding positions. And still, you can see how still I am. I'm in control. I'm laser focused. You can tell how focused I am, even though you can't see my eyes behind the hood. Probably 40 amps, 45 amps downhill. Vertical downhill. And as you can see, we're moving along. I weld the outside, the insides, the tops. The very top I have to go back and get with a ladder that we lean up against the fence later. So once we're all done putting the fence up in a pretty big section, I go back with a ladder, lean it up, and then crawl to the top to get those tops. But I can reach the top insides facing me, just not the top of the top rail. Here I am with a longer stick out because it's a fresh rod pulled out from my pocket, and you can still see that's still control. And then I jump down. You can see it's just from one to the other. It's very focused. It has to be a smooth transition from the top to the bottom. That's how you make money in welding: speed.